Ho, ho, ho! Merry Vlogmas!
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Griffin, and this is Griffin Projects, day number 7 of Vlogmas. A real question could be, am I going to keep doing the hand numbers? That's something that I don't even know when I start doing the video, whether or not I'm going to do them. I don't know if I've done them so far. I'm pretty sure I've done it, nearly all of them. But what am I going to do when it's episode 11? Okay, that's probably true. I probably would do that. But what about 20? Okay, true story, I might do them the whole time. I guess you're just gonna have to subscribe to find out. If you watched yesterday's episode of Vlogmas, you'll know that I kind of hyped up a shop video today. And turns out I should not have done so, because I should know my schedule better than that, because turns out my other business is requiring my time early tomorrow morning, which means that I need to be up early and actually functioning and using my brain. So I don't know what I was thinking of saying, yeah, let's go to the shop all day, then stay up all night and edit. Normally that's not a problem. Like, I have no problem doing that on a normal basis, but I actually have something scheduled tomorrow, so that just cannot happen. Like, not responsibly anyways. But just know, I got something for you right now. And that is, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics to talk about, which is books. Okay, I lied a little bit. Turns out no one likes to talk about books that much, but hopefully you do. If you're into woodworking, DIY stuff, your drive for knowledge in that topic is probably insatiable, so I think we're going to be okay. A little preface before we get started. There's only a few books that I'm going to recommend, but I think they're all really, really solid. Last year I talked about books I just think you should read overall because I think they're good books, maybe like self-help books or stuff like that. This year I'm going to stick to mainly maker stuff. Let's get started. The first set of books are going to be design inspirationally focused books. And I think you're going to like them because they're pretty solid actually. First up is Eames. It's by Gloria Koenig. I think I can safely say that Charles and Ray Eames are one of the most prolific designers probably in the last 100 years. Maybe ever, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far, but their work is excellent. And Gloria Koenig is an architectural historian who was married to Pierre Koenig, a modern architect. The book is just really great. It's really succinct. The pictures are great. They're full colored. It goes through kind of the history, furniture, and the architecture. If anything, you could buy it just for the pictures, but the story is fantastic as well. Next up is this one. It's called Mid-Century Modern, subtitled Living with Mid-Century Modern Design. And it's by someone you might know if you're into antiques or collectibles or any of those things. It's a subject matter expert. Her name's Judith Miller. She's been on Antique Roadshow, a bunch of those type of shows when they need to bring in like a collector where she is considered an expert at pricing. She's written a crap ton of books. I think it was like over 100 books. This happens to be one of them. It's one that she's, I think, not super known for, but it is probably one of the prettiest books because all the different photos of these mid-century modern pieces in this, a little blurb about each one, I think is fantastic. Fun fact about this book is it also has value codes. So if you look through, the codes kind of tell you approximately how much they would go for in like current times. I think the book is a little older, so maybe it's a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but it'll give you a pretty good idea. Spoiler alert, they're all pretty expensive. Next up is this book. It's called World Design, subtitled The Best in Classic and Contemporary Furniture, Fashion, Graphics, and More. And they're not lying. This book has a little bit of everything from, like they say, fashion, furniture, graphics, like typography, and all sorts of stuff in this book. I think it's a fantastic coffee table book. It's a waiting room book. It's for me, a book, I open it up, I see all these different designs over all different mediums, and I just think, okay, what do I want to build next? Or what do I want to design next? So, highly recommend this book. Next up is this book, Illustrated Cabinet Making: How to Design and Construct Furniture That Works. This is a staple piece. I think a lot of people will actually own this piece, But if you don't, you should really check it out because it goes through the technical things of all things that would be considered cabinets, from kitchen cabinet stuff to liquor cabinets, anything cabinets basically. And it gets really, really deep into the technical mumbo jumbo of it all, and really great reference book. I can't say enough about this book. This is a must-have, I think, if you're designing your own pieces, or I guess just general woodworking. You want to know different techniques or how things go together. This book is just fantastic. Definitely get this one if you don't have it. Next up is The Complete Book of Woodworking. This was probably the first book I was actually given by my father for, I think, Christmas, when I was like really starting to get into woodworking. He's a really big believer in books. This was a great gift. It goes through pretty much most of the joints, the techniques, the skills, the tips. It has really, really good diagrams or pictures. It has projects. It's just a solid book to have in your arsenal when it comes to like, oh, I want to figure out this joinery for this weird panel that I'm designing or something. Like, it's going to have something to help you with that. You're not going to have to try to figure out what to search for on YouTube. You can just thumb through this book at the different joints, look at what might or might not work, and it's just more of like for possibilities. Like, I think books like this are great for complete newbies or even people just wanting to revisit different techniques that they haven't done in a while or ever. If you don't own it, get it. Next up is this book. It's the Great Book of Shop Drawings for Craftsman Furniture. They are not lying. This book not only goes through like a really nice history of Craftsman furniture, even though it's not particularly like my style, like it's kind of like stickly furniture, or it's just not my type of furniture, but the techniques, how things are assembled, the diagrams, the build out stuff in this book, woo! Just like the illustrated cabinet making book, these two books from a technical like geek aspect, they're pretty awesome. It even says on the top right here that it's one of the top 27 books that woodworkers should own. That's a big thing. They even put it on the cover. That means it's obviously true. What's no joke is the information in this book. It's fantastic. And last but not least, it's this. It's the Mihan's Bartender Manual. I believe I talked about it last year. And this year's no different. It's a book that has recipes for nearly every single cocktail, along with a short synopsis of where it came from, who made it, how it transferred, how it's changed. If you're in the cocktails or just like the history of the spirits industry, how did we end up going from like wine and punch to single serve cocktails? It has a little bit of everything in this book. I always think it's a great gift book. It's a fantastic reference. You can see that I have a few cocktails marked. It is always around the home bar. Highly recommend this book if you haven't bought it, or you need to buy it for someone that's really into that type of thing. They will not be disappointed with this book. Well, that's it. Those are the books that I recommend for you. I want to tack something on here before I go, is that these books are just, they really could go to anyone that's in design and making. A link to an idea list from Amazon is down in the description below. It has all the books that I recommended in this video, and I think you should check them out if you haven't. That's pretty much it for this video, but I will say also, if you have any design books, woodworking books, making books, any books really that you would recommend for me to check out, make sure you leave a comment down below. I would love to get them and check them out and maybe even buy them. If you know someone that might like this video, if you could share it and maybe ask them to subscribe as well, that would be awesome, because I'm trying to hit over 100 subscribers before the end of this Vlogmas, if at all possible. So any help in that front, I would be appreciative of. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow.